Okay, we're here in the Donbass region. I'm tailing the American. Well, there you go. Look at this bad boy. What is it? Is it an old one from the 70s or is it a modern one? I have no idea. But crazy, crazy. Raining all day. Raining from dawn. It's going to rain through dusk. It's going to rain past dusk. Some in the biggest shopping mall in the northwest of England. It's called the Trafford Centre. It's kind of in Trafford. It's kind of a centre. But it's dry. It's so wet that the raindrops on the roof of my car, it sounds metallic. It sounds like small arms fire hitting the side of a World War I tank as it was about to go over a trench. Ting, tong, ting, ping, pong, ping. It's awful. I've waited. It's now 1:06. I was going to go out there, but anyway, might as well get some deep fucking schizo philosophy in the car anyway. Basically, I am harsh with people. I am firm and harsh, and I judge lest I be judged. I welcome judgment. Judge me. I don't give a fudge. But my feeling is that everyone has the ability to better themselves, to improve, to go towards the light, like a moth. And when I see people stuck in a self-miserable, self-destructive, self-pathetic, oh, woe is me, I had a hard life, I had a hard life, I had a hard life. Everyone has a hard life. Don't think there's a single person who has it easy. Fucking hell, I remember 25 years ago, I was there watching the news in Saudi Arabia, where my parents were living and working at the time. And I knew all about JFK, Kennedy. I watched the Oliver Stone, Who Killed JFK? And I learnt about the Kennedy family, and I thought, wow, shit, that's a tragedy, but wow, what a royal aristocratic dynasty, the Kennedys. And then, next thing you know, the next news headline was like, rich, billionaire, young, handsome, tall, dark, sexy man, John Kennedy, dies, ski accident. Fucking dead now. Skied into a tree. There wasn't enough tragedy in his family. His dad, shot dead. His uncle, Bobby, shot dead. And he's like, right, wow. Or did he die? The handsome, the young John die in a plane crash? Am I thinking of Michael Schumacher? There you go. Another one. Absolute god of driving. No one has ever driven like Michael Schumacher. Even, what's his name? Fancy silver chain earring boy. What's his name? The young, handsome, half black guy. What's his name? Lewis Hamilton. He's a good driver, but he didn't have that German grown-up efficiency that Michael Schumacher had. Man, Michael Schumacher was fucking winning races and winning championships faster than the Nazi invasion of France and Belgium and Holland. He blitzkrieged his way to, like, what, 6, 7 world championships? Where am I going with this? Tragedy will fuck everyone up. Fucking hell, everyone has got a sad, fucking horrible story. And I've got issues with a lot of this, like, mental health charity stuff. Ooh, talk about it. Talk to your mates about it. Whatever happened to fucking bottling that shit up and pushing it right down and not worrying your friends and your family about it? Take it like a man. I cry. I break down. I am overwhelmed many times. But for the real nitty-gritty of what fucking makes me suffer, I might allude to it on YouTube. I might go about it in a roundabout way so that my viewers know something's up with me. But I will not start putting blame onto people. I will not name the people. I will not air my dirty laundry in public. Family matters. No. Fuck you. And I see all this like radio advertising. I can't listen to the radio. I can't watch TV. I try. But it's as bad as like I get triggered by the fact that people... in fact... I get triggered by the circle jerk, the auto-masturbatory self-pitying of people who are so entitled that they think that not only does the government owe them money, society owes them money. I wasn't even going on about that. I was talking about, like, all right, mate, you go to the football, Dave. You go out with your mates for a pint, yeah? Don't feel scared to admit to them that you were thinking about killing yourself, that you were like about to take the pills, innit? Like, sit down with your mate, Dave. Sit down with Barry. Sit down with fucking Charlie. Sit down with Johnny Boy. And tell them that you're depressed, you hate yourself, that you think the world's shit, and that you feel sorry for yourself and that you want to end it all. Maybe not. Maybe instead of teaching men that it's okay to be emotional, everyone knows it's okay to be emotional. Maybe we should be teaching men how to be strong warriors, how to take enough fucking bother that would drive weak men to murder or fucking violence or hanging themselves, killing themselves. I reckon most men deal with very heavy fucking shit. I've got some close friends, and every single one of them, not a single person in my close group of friends escapes the harrowing, almost nihilism-driving, extreme suffering that is full spectrum suffering, fractal suffering, every level of the fucking tendril, every level of the fucking fern frond as it unravels is suffering. And I'm going to teach my kids to be strong, to deal with it, and to not burden their close friends with, oh, I want to kill myself. If you're seriously thinking about killing yourself, you're not thinking straight. Good afternoon to you all. Good afternoon. It is one of those days where it doesn't stop raining, but I do want to see you all. I do want to talk to you. I want to tell you a few stories, and I want to look at some gravestones, look at the dead with you. We're here at St. Mary's Catholic Graveyard, cemetery, not pet cemetery, cemetery for the Catholics. And yeah, it's actually a lot darker than I'm looking on the screen. This phone, it brightened things up. Just like Mr. Yahweh here. Look at that. Immaculate Heart, Immaculate Conception, all that good stuff. And I much prefer white marble loving Jesus. Mary? I much prefer white marble anatomic loving Jesus than suffering, tortured Jesus. Inri, I-N-R-I. I used to know what that meant. And like he's got the spear hole in the side. So, go on the news this morning, Manchester Evening News, and yesterday at 4 p.m, still daylight for another half hour, a woman was robbed at knife point Not out in the suburbs, not out in the ghetto, not in the hood. She was robbed at knife point on New Cathedral Street, where Ted Baker is, where Paul Smith is, where Selfridges is. One of the posher streets in Manchester. Now, happy ending. She got her phone back, and the police, armed police, arrested the 3 men. Straight away, they got them. And that's great, you know, and we should praise the police when they catch the scum. Now, that's bad. You know, city centre, Manchester, in the daytime, apart from the crackies, apart from the degenerates who want to commit slow suicide by making themselves everyone's problem because they can't figure out how to move towards the light like a moth. Even a moth can do it. Ooh, light. Go and smash my head against it. Just move. Anyway, that's bad enough. But I read the news. It's all over the national news. Yesterday in Wandsworth in London, again, rich area. Everywhere in London's a rich area now. Even Brixton. Even Brixton's expensive. Let's have a look at this Jesus mosaic. It's a good mosaic. It's a very good mosaic. Jesus, through thy agony and passion, have mercy on the soul of William Brady. I'm sure Jesus will have mercy on William's soul. So in Wandsworth yesterday, a 22-year-old mother, a young mum, with her baby in her arms, receives a gentle rapping at the door. Knock, knocky, knock, knock, knock. She looks through. There's a young man in a Tesco jacket, the official Tesco, which is a large British supermarket. And she's like, oh, the man's working. Maybe he's got a delivery for a neighbour. She opens the door, and 2 men burst in, and she had her CCTV, so we have images, and they're not pleasant, of this big thug stood over a mother holding her baby. And what he does, he gets a giant chef's knife, a big carving knife, a butcher's knife, sticks it to the mother's neck as she's trying to protect her baby in her own house. And they're like, where's the money? Where's the money? Where's the money? She didn't have any money. And they left without any possessions. And they've maybe traumatized the young mother for life, who feared that she, and even worse, her baby, were about to be murdered. Now, I mentioned that the perception, let me just change arms here, it gets tiring holding it with the same arm. The perception of violence and of savagery out on the streets, even coming into people's homes now, has certainly increased. When I started doing my Manchester videos 10 years ago, I could go out in the city centre, and someone commented in my comment section, you confront Jehovah's Witnesses, but you never confront the drug dealers. I think I can count off the top of my head 3 specific videos where I confront drug dealers. And one of the earlier ones, just to show you how it's changed, I could go up to a group of people with my camera outside McDonald's in the middle of a drug deal, start shouting at them, and they'll be embarrassed. Oh, fuck, we've been nailed. As she's filming, let's all shy away, tell them to fuck off, give them the finger, fuck you, cameraman. And they'll be ashamed and embarrassed. Now, their answer is violence. And luckily, I'm a big guy. I have been working out recently because I spent the summer with a slightly deformed hand after the Slate Rock incident, where the guy got fucked up. He went to jail for that. And I chased him down through Manchester with a broken, bleeding hand and still did a citizen's arrest on him until the police arrived. So I don't have any, you know, I feel like I've been bitten by a baboon on safari. It's like, oh, I'm here to take some photographs of the animals. One of the gorillas has flung shit at me, broke my hand, so I'm not even angry. But what I'm saying is, 10 years ago, it was a lot easier to be a YouTuber in my style, but now it's savage. As a quick recess, let's have a quick break. You're like, well, why is he in a graveyard? You might think, how morbid. But I don't see morbidity here. Well, I do. They're all dead. But what I see every single gravestone is a family or an individual remembering someone, loving someone, respecting someone. And we've had a few deaths in my family, in the Cveitch family, and people get cremated. Cremated! Now, I'm not sure I want to be cremated. I'm not a piece of medical waste in a plastic bag to be thrown in the incinerator. I'm a human being, and my life and my death has value. And there's something very poignant. For example, just pick any random one. Pray for the souls, and he's got the names. You've got their date of births. You've got how old they were when they passed away. Someone paid for that. Someone took the time out to make it, to carve it, to deliver it, to install it. And people bring flowers. They bring dolls. Look at this. People in the 60s and 70s, there's still flowers here. The amount of love for the people that have all died here. And this is somewhere where they can come and leave flowers and bring their kids, bring their grandkids, bring the great-grandkids and say, your great-granddad, your great-grandmother, she was a great woman, fantastic woman. She did her duty, she loved, she helped us grow up and do our dreams, and thanks to her, you're alive now. So I'm not sure how I feel about being incinerated like a piece of medical waste. But that's just me. I think I want to be buried when I die. It's a sign of, it's the one thing that separates us from the other primates, from the other animals, from beasts, from gorillas, from orangutans, from chimpanzees, is that we bury our dead. We notice when life is over, and it's something worth remembering. It's something worth commemorating and celebrating and leaving a memorial. But really, let me just swap hands again. Coming back to what I was saying before. It feels like it's getting more savage out there. Again, I try not to get conspiratorial. I try not to get the tinfoil hat on. I try not to lay blame here or there, or grand narratives, or this group or that group. And maybe, just maybe, there's things we don't understand about the world, the universe, about consciousness, about sentience. And maybe we're in the next flood. We might be in a biblical event that isn't conspiring men of one tribe or globalists of this other tribe, or people conspiring together to do this, or people taking revenge for that, or it might very well be that we are nothing but cells on a living earth. And when the living earth feels that people are turning to shit, people are losing their faith in God. They are calling men with cock and balls, they're calling them women. They're putting men in women's jails. They're letting men win women's sporting events. And they're letting doctors sterilize children. Wow, child sacrifice. Who would have thought 2022 in the most developed nations in the world, Scotland, Canada, United States of America, doctors are like, oh yeah, well, we know what we know. Yeah, we'll sort that kid out. They're not confused. They're not acting out. They're not maybe a little bit crazy. No, no, no. They're definitely a transgender child. Whoa, this escalated quickly. Now, I didn't want to talk about that, but it's all connected. It's all connected. I had a shamanic revelation the other night. And I'm not going to brag, and nor am I going to share it with you. I'm going to turn it into a film. I've decided what new camera I want. I've decided what I want to do over the next year. And it's going to be very interesting. Here's some fresh graves. Very fresh. Not even got the... Oh no, maybe it's on the other side. And before the commenters, yeah, Charlie's being disrespectful. Fuck you. I come to graveyards all the time. I'm very respectful. Look at this. Adrian passed away July 2021. Te Lahun Baye Tedola. Sounds African. He died 23rd of August 2021. And he was only 50. Mary here was 74. Brian was 70. Patricia was 78. Now there's another collection of graves down there. I'm not going to go down there. I'm going to walk on these concrete slabs. Yeah, this is the new grave area. They're going to do more graves here. I'm going to look at these. I think these might be Commonwealth soldier graves. Let's have a look. I get that vibe. Yes, I certainly get that vibe. The poppies are, no pun intended, the poppies are the dead giveaway. Let's have a look here. Private T. Colley, Pioneer Corps. He died a few months before my father was born. T. Colley died on the 3rd of March 1943 at the age of 18. 18! Now, I admit to my ignorance, but I also admit that I am certain about a few things in life. And acting out of love and duty, you can't really go wrong. Love each other as I have loved you. It's as simple as that. As simple as that. Okay, I thought I'd wrapped up, but there's this memorial here for the mother, Michelle Louise Pearson, her children, Demi Louise, Leah Louise, Brandon Christopher Oliver, and Lacey Louise. Now, I believe these are the 4 children and their mother who were murdered by 2 men not far from where I live in Walkden. And I've mentioned this, I went to the court case, and those men will never see daylight again. And you see these little children and that mother, all murdered by people who felt it was okay to put fire through a letterbox. And Lacey Louise, Brandon Christopher Oliver, 7, 8, and Demi, 15 years old, they passed away on the 11th of December, on the night of the fire. Little baby Leah Louise, who was 3 years old, died 2 days later. And the mother, who went into a coma, she died 2 years after finding out that her 4 children had been murdered. The fact that people can do this to one another, the demonic lack of love and the powerful hatred to place fire inside a home where there's 4 children and a mother sleeping. Love and duty, that's all you can do.